Going on, guys? Kel, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about my first IT interview. This interview, I wouldn't say it was too difficult. I wouldn't say it was anything that was out of the norm of something I've experienced before. Of course, with any job that you're new applying to, there's going to be some questions you don't really understand. So let's get into it. Talking a little bit about the prep that I got into for it. I'm going through a staffing agency for this job, so I did talk to my recruiter beforehand. They gave me a list of things that this job has wanted from employees before, gave me a list of questions that I should probably be able to answer. Went through my study binder, used ChatGPT, kind of condensed some of those definitions and examples that I had just so it's a little bit easier to convey to the interviewer. As for the actual interview, there were two interviewers. One was primarily customer service based, and then the second one was technical based. I'd say they were both really cool and not too hard pressed on like you need to know too much of anything. They were really just trying to feel out if I had a good personality, how I deal with things under pressure, if I do have any experience with dealing with technical problems, and am I able to take technical terminology and convey that to, say, like my grandma. And with that, I'd say the interview went pretty well. They didn't ask too many questions. I think I got about 5 questions from each, just to kind of give an example of what the questions were like. Customer service questions were along the lines of, how do I deal with disgruntled customers? How do I deal with disgruntled coworkers? How do I deal with maybe administration who may not be doing their jobs correctly? And then moving on to the technical questions, they ask things along the lines of, do I have experience troubleshooting a network? Do I have experience sharing files? Do I have experience troubleshooting a printer? Things of those nature. So they didn't really get too deep into anything, kept it pretty surface level. But I will say throughout the interview they were making note of soft skills. So I will say like little things like my body language, my tone, those are all things that it very apparently mattered to them. So I definitely say focus on those things in your interviews. My own personal takeaways from this were that you don't really have to have too many technical skills to get your foot in the door. Yes, I am still waiting to hear back from the job, but even in this in-between process, I still am pretty confident. And that's not only because of what I know, but that's also because of the interview. Just going through the process, seeing that where I'm at right now is very much acceptable to get a job like this. That definitely did give me a little more motivation to keep down the path that I'm going. So for next steps, really just trying to buckle down, do a little more review for the Security Plus, get that scheduled, get that out the way. In the meantime, I'm going to keep applying to jobs. I have another interview coming up. This one's through Apex Systems. Probably going to have another video up about that one, so be on the lookout for that. And aside from that, that's really it. Probably going to be coming back with some videos soon about labs, talking a little bit more about certs, some more study materials. But until then, appreciate you for coming to watch. I'll catch you on the next one.